Welcome to Blogcast, episode number 14. In this one, we're going to review a blog I wrote back in November of 2020 about how to mark text using Booksnaps. Now, Booksnaps is something that can be done with Snapchat, Google Slides, PowerPoint, or Seesaw. So pick your tool, whichever one works best for you and your situation. So, in a nutshell, this is a great, easy way to get kids to interact with text and really kind of focus their reading and kind of curate text so kids can really again have that focused experience while they are reading. So a lot of people said, well, we can't use Snapchat, but again, you can use PowerPoint, slides, and Seesaw to do the same thing for a book snap. So book snaps, I'm going to show you how to do it the way I do it with Google Classroom and Google Slides. So for example, here's an example of honestly, all you need to do is find a picture of text, and you're going to put your instructions on the slide next to it. What you want kids to do, how you want them to annotate it, maybe underline, circle, maybe type an opinion, add a picture or an emoji that represents the tone or the theme or the feeling of the people in the text. I mean, just allow your your imagination to run wild with it. So really the most basic thing to do is to add how do you get an image of text on there. So we're going to take a look on how you can do that with Booksnaps. I'm going to shift over to a sample one. This is a sample Booksnaps activity that I have set up that I use as a template when I want to do Booksnaps. So I actually created my template, and it looks something like this when I open it up. This is one one I did. I have a kind of a generic title slide, and then I can switch out the images and the information here, depending on what my topic is. So right over here, this is kind of my basic template that I created. In here is where I will paste my image of text. I put some instructions, and maybe I put some text boxes for future instructions or things where kids can type an answer or copy and paste a picture and emoji based on whatever my instructions are. So it's very versatile in that matter. So that's kind of what it looks like for my template assignment here that I reuse over and over in Google Classroom. Again, it's the same thing here. And they're going to follow the book snaps here. They're going to follow the instructions. The instructions vary from slide to slide, and then click turn in when it's finished. So it's a pretty easy thing to set up. And once you set up your template assignment in Classroom, you can reuse it over and over and just switch out the information. As you can tell, I posted this first back in September 18th of 2020, and I've been reusing it almost on a weekly basis. So it really makes my life a lot easier. So let's take a look at how to set up your template in the first place. So if we go here to create, and go here to assignment, and I can call this Booksnaps template. Type your instructions here. And what I'm going to do next, again, you can set up your points, your topic if you have it as maybe create a template topic, so you can reuse these over and over in a kind of like a class shell, Google Classroom. So what I'm going to do here is create that template that's going to be, every time I reuse it, it makes a new copy of it. So there's no having to make a copy of it and redoing it. Classroom does it for you. So I'm going to go here and just make my slides right here. Start a blank slides presentation. I might title it Snaps template. There we go. And I like to start with a blank layout here. So I may put some kind of a box here where I'm always going to paste my picture here. I may make another one here. This is for where I have my instructions. I'm going to put here image of text. Then I can just close that down, and that's going to eventually, it will rename itself. And I want to make a copy for each student, so that I can reuse this over and over, and all this stuff will be saved and passed on each time that I reuse it. So let's say, for example, I'm reusing this, and I want to readjust this slides presentation, this Booksnaps template for whatever I'm currently teaching. Once I reuse the post, I open it up, click on the presentation here. I say, okay, I need to do image of text here. So what I'm going to go pull an image of text that I have already ready to go here. So let's say I want to use this. I have a online textbook here, and I want to use this snippet of text here for the student. So you can easily use the screenshotting function on your computer. If you're on a PC, you'd use a snipping tool. If you're on a Mac, you would use a Command-Shift-4 to take a quick screenshot, or any screenshotting tool of your choice. Once you have the screenshot, I'm going to go ahead and add that image now onto my Booksnap on the slide here. Here it is. And I can just get rid of that. And then I'm going to drag it over here. Oops, that's a mistake there. I cropped it by accident. There we go. And I'm going to put it on here. I'm going to just kind of center it. There we go. So kids can see that. And my instructions may be something similar like this. I could say something like, let's see, in red circle, nations of the Triple Alliance. And maybe I might say here, in blue, circle the nations of Triple Entente. So I can do that. That could be one instruction. If I want to add another instruction, I can definitely drop in another text box here that I want to use. May say something like this: copy and paste an emoji that describes militarism. Now, that is a vocab word that's highlighted there in the text. And then explain why in the box below. So what I might do is add another box, put it down here. They can type their answer here. They can paste their emoji that explains what militarism. So what I'm doing, I'm putting, focused instructions for them to read this snippet of text. And in my experience working with middle schoolers, usually no more than 4 to 6. If you want to get through a class period, with older students, 7 to 10 at the most. Definitely would be my recommendation on the amount of slides. But again, it really allows you to kind of curate text and really focus on reading exactly what you want them to do, and kind of do kind of a close reading activity. And the instructions are completely totally up to you. So think of this as a kind of a guided reading. In distance learning, way I've done this before is where they do this in class. In a synchronous lesson, I may have them work independently in their individual breakout rooms. I can pop in each room and kind of work with them if they have any questions. It's a good way to kind of shake things up during a synchronous lesson here. But again, this is what it would look like on the setup of the teacher's end. On a student's end, this is what it would look like here. And this is actually one that I've been teaching this current week. So this is the student end of it. As a student, I'm going to open up my assignment here, and I'm going to click over here. I'm going to need to, here's my instructions that I have to do. And in this case here, circle evidence of 2 reasons why Wilson believes the U.S. should stay neutral. So I need to circle. So what students will do is they're going to come over here to the line tool, they hit the little arrow, and they come down to scribble. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to find what I would believe would be evidence that in this case, this piece of text here, President Woodrow Wilson wants the United States to stay neutral. So let's say, for example, I'm going to use my mouse. I'm going to circle this sentence here. Again, I tell students it does not have to be perfect. There we go. And then I tell students, let's make it something like a bright color, like a blue. Make a nice size 4 thickness here. Now it's very easy for me, the teacher, when I go look into your Booksnap, I can see exactly easily what you have circled. And then I would have to circle something else as well. And here it says, explain why I circled these 2 pieces of evidence. And I could just type my answer here, blah, 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 and justify why I circled this evidence. So that's one example. Again, in this case here, there are a total of 5 slides that they would be working on in class today. This would be a similar one as the previous. This is another one here where you do a copy and paste emoji and then an explanation. So use your imagination on how you want kids to read, what you want them to look for to identify things in text, and justify it. So again, this is what it looks like on the student end of a Booksnap. If you have any questions about anything demonstrated here in this Blogcast, feel free to reach out to me. Via email or chat at awadas@techcoachwadas.com.